That chap's shoulder comes down there, and then got a bit of a waistcoat there. I could probably do with bringing that up closer to the hand that I put in. And then obviously that continues below the arm and also over to the left a bit as well. Now, because of the way I've drawn the woman's head, I'm not sure if you'd better see waistcoat here or not. I think I'll put a little bit in perhaps for now. But let's move over to the next chap. So I'm just going to go all the way down the length of the figure there. And I quite like the way the brush is sort of petering out as I go down. And then we've got the banjo strap coming down here. I don't think I want to do too much more to his feet, but I do need to just fill in his torso here a bit, I think. Guy number 2. So his collar is obviously protruding, the points of his collar are protruding over the top of his waistcoat, but I'll have to come back and do that because I can't really, or easily at least, I can't simulate that with this brush. Could make some kind of a clumsy attempt, I think, but I think it would be just a bit too tricky. And then really the rest of his body is more or less in silhouette. So. And then on to the final guy. Oh, I forgot this chap's feet, actually. And then the same colour that I used for the waistcoats and trousers, I can use for the underside of the hat here. And second guy's hair. And then even this chap's hair as well, I think. I just go in gently. And we may as well keep going with that theme. And then even the center of the big horn here. And a bit of shadow in there. And then we'll put a touch on the end of the neck of the banjo. Okay, well, next up I want to just add some subtle shadows to some areas of the shirt. So we'll stick with the same brush, grab some of the tinting white, but this time I'll grab some of the cerulean blue and perhaps just a touch of the burnt umber. Now, in some places I think, you know, it's a very minimal treatment, but I don't know that I want to do too much more to the shirt in terms of the sleeves here. But I think perhaps just a little bit of shadow here on the belly and perhaps on the chest there. And then we'll take a similar approach for the next chap. Put a little shadow there. And then really I'm just putting kind of the shadow color here on this arm just to make it stand out a bit more from the background. I mean, we don't necessarily always have to have that being the case. There doesn't have to be a distinction, but I think it's going to help in these particular cases. Well, next I want to add some color to the instruments. So we'll grab some of the cad yellow light, just a touch of the cad red. And bring in more of the yellow. And some of the tinting white. And let's see how that works if we pop that onto the paper here. That's not too bad, actually. I mean, we're going to have to add some highlights and so on, but for the initial hit of color, that's working reasonably well. And then I don't really want to get into describing things too fully, but we can use that same color to begin to put in this chap's clarinet and a bit of the trumpet here as well. And although it's not, you know, the color of the banjo, I'm going to put a bit in there for now. We'll cover most of that up in a moment, I think. But now that I've done that, I'm actually thinking, well, perhaps I won't cover up most of that because it kind of keeps it a coherent color scheme. Well, I've switched to my little filbert now, and I'm picking up some more of the burnt umber, and I'm mixing that in with the darker version of that orange I created earlier. And we'll keep the the paint that we just applied fairly wet. And I'm going to use this now to put in some of the darker reflections. And we can also use that for shadow color under there. And then a little bit more of the burnt umber, just adding that. And we'll, taking back what I said a moment ago, we will cover a fair amount of this banjo.